This is a story written by a person in my creative writing class who is a junior in high school. Walking into school and seeing what I always see. Girls freaking out about what happened this weekend and boys talking about the highlight of football games. I walked to my locker to see my best friend Colin standing by my locker. Colin is a tall, scrawny boy with bright blue eyes. "Hey, Molly," he says as I'm walking to get to my locker. "Hey, Colin, are you ready to take on this full week?" I replied to him with a sarcastic tone in my voice. I'm always arriving late as the bell rings. I shut my locker immediately, and we both walk into first period. It's always nice having first period with him, especially since it's physics and I'm horrible at it, and of course he has an A, like he has in every subject. We always have fun in that class until Colin sees Jacob and remembers how angry he makes him. Jacob has dark brown hair and is tall and muscular. He has to be the star on the basketball team. The star on the basketball team, excuse me. Colin despises him because he's always had a crush on Morgan, which is Jacob's girlfriend. I've never understood why she'd go for a guy like him. He's so vulgar to everyone and has no personality. He treats her so poorly, and I would never do that, Colin said in an annoyed voice. I never know what to say back to him. I always just shake my head and say I agree. I never do fully agree, but I would never say that out loud. Jacob is nice. He was my partner. He was our partner, our English project last week. 4. I missed out on a 4, my bad. 4. Our English project last week. We talked and he made me laugh like I haven't in a while because Colin being so negative. As the bell rings, Colin and I walk back to our lockers. He once again brings up how much he likes Morgan and how well he would treat her. I get my books and shut my locker and once again shake my head and agree. He sounds like a broken track record. I hear this every day. As we're walking to our next class that are side by side, we pass Jacob and Morgan talking. Talking might even be an understatement. I would say shouting and arguing. Slow down, Colin said quietly. It's not our right to listen to them, I replied quickly and annoyed. He replies back, if they are arguing in the hallway, they must not care about an audience. I roll my eyes and slow my pace down. I know this isn't right. I shouldn't be listening. It's too intriguing, though, to not open my ears and hear the bickering. I don't understand how you don't find it a big deal, Morgan said, disappointed. You know I'm not good in school. I don't understand how that's bad, Jacob said with a soft voice. They always fight about the pettiest things. This time it was different. It sounded almost like Morgan was picking the fight to have a reason to end things, as she did. You and I have way different mindsets, and it's caused problems before, Morgan said with hesitation. We both know where this is going, and we can both agree on what's best for us two, and how to say a friendship, Jacob had replied softly. As they both knew what just had happened, they walked away slow. I'm guessing they were replaying all their memories together, but knew this was the happiest ending. I know I wasn't too good of friends with Jacob, but we've been talking for a little bit in our Spanish class. I go up to him. Hey, how are you? I've heard about what happened, I said, walking up to him. I'm fine, he said, very curt. Just to let you know, you can talk to me about it. I'm always ready to listen. Don't you think your friend Colin will have a problem with that? He won't, and he can't control who I spend my time with. I replied back, but that was slander. What? I want it to be what? Do you know what slander is? I want it to be true, though. I want him to get over that Jacob dated Morgan. It was dumb. It's not his fault she chose her. What? Maybe he'll grow to be okay with it after I explain to him how happy he makes me. I'm done. I decided it was unfair to leave you without the end of this story, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. Wait, did I just say that? Shoot. I said to myself out loud. Everyone turns around and looks at me and my face gets bright red. I look away very quick and cover my face. This is the time I have to let Colin know about what I feel. It's only 6th period and so much has happened today. I walked up to my locker where Colin was standing. We have 7th together, so this was the perfect time to tell him. Here I go. I have 5 minutes to explain to him why he should drop his grudge on Jacob. Hasn't this just been an emotional and exciting day? He said with a great big smile. Oh no, I replied. The look on his face told me it all. He knew something was going to be said that he didn't like. His smile slowly went away until I said the words. I think I have feelings for Jacob, I said softly, hoping he wouldn't hear, but still telling myself at least I said it. I know he did hear it, and the smile on his face quickly switched to a straight face. He had no emotions, none at all. I didn't even know that was possible for him. He just looked at me, even made it look like he was confused. Most likely confused on how I could say I could ever like the horrible Jacob. He's not even that bad, that's the thing. He doesn't even know him. Surprisingly, Colin just walked away. He makes me so frustrated. I should have known this was going to happen. He wouldn't talk to me about it. He would just ignore the problem till it went away. He needs a wake-up call. It's not going away, and this stunt he's pulling isn't changing my mind. I let us both cool off, and we walked to 7th separately and silently. We didn't choose to sit by each other, which was different. Everyone noticed and knew something was wrong, even Jacob. He came up to me after class and put his hand on my desk, asking me, Is everything okay? Looks like you might be the one who wants to talk about things. I just nod my... There's no quotes. They didn't use quotes. Holy shit. I just nod my to... Oh, God. I got my expectations too high. I just nod my to assure him I'm fine, but he didn't buy it. He looks at me with his sparkling ocean blue eyes, and I knew I was lying. Once again, he asks me, Is everything okay? And don't tell me yes, because I know that's not true. This time was different. I poured my feelings out like a waterfall. I let him know what happened between Colin and me. He wasn't okay with it. I don't even know why it's not like it's his decision. Why can't he just allow me to be happy? I allow him to be happy, and I support him chasing that girl. This is all messed up. Why is this happening like this? I noticed I wasn't making sense when he looked at me confused. I probably should give him names. The situation and exactly how it happened. I talked to Colin about how I like you, how I have for a while now, but you were with Morgan. It didn't go over so well. He's now ignoring me because he's always been jealous of you. Well, jealous of you and Morgan. He saw it more clearly now. I could tell he was shocked. He probably now didn't know how to answer me. He was probably figuring out how he was going to let me down easy. It's fine, though. I can take it. I'm just happy in myself for getting the courage to finally let him know everything I feel about him. Once again, he looked at me with those blue eyes and said calmly, I wish you hadn't said that. I wanted to be the first of us to say I like you. Oh, my God. I'll sort things out with Colin. He'll have to be okay with it, and I know he will once he sees how happy you are. I know him and I haven't gotten along in the past, and most of it is my fault. I flaunting Morgan in front of him, but I know now how rude that was. I'll talk to him. Do not worry about his anymore. Oh, great, there's more. It was so reassuring to hear that. Now I know Jacob is letting go of the fight. I can only hope Colin will. I missed out on that, but that's not important. He was the one who was hurt, though. Jacob had the girl he wanted, but now he can go after her. I'm only hoping that this works out in my favor. As I walk into 8th period, I'm glad this day is almost over. It's been an emotional roller coaster for so many people. 8th period was my cool down. I teacher assisted for my favorite teacher, Mrs. Evans. She usually just had me grade papers, which sounded perfect today. As the time flies by, the bell to end school rings. I thanked her and left. As I'm walking to my locker, I see Jacob and Colin talking. This can't be great. It seems to look fine, though, but in my gut, I can feel that they're bickering like they always do. I walk up, and the first thing I hear is, I understand and accept your apology. I don't know why I was so angry for a long time. You hardly did anything. I'm happy for Molly, and you're exactly what she needs. I can only hope you can forgive me and how I've acted all this time, Colin said. You could hear the honesty and sincerity in his voice. The only thing I could do is smile. I said nothing, but they knew how happy I was. I looked up at Jacob, signaling it was his time to talk back and accept everything Colin said. Surely he did with a smile on his face. I can forgive you. We've been fighting over a ridiculous thing for two damn years. What the hell? I can see how getting along and being good friends. Now we also have the same duty, and that's to protect Molly, replied Jacob. They both nodded their head to agree with what each other had just said. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know this was how it was going to end. This was my perfect ending, and all I could hope for. I'm glad that I can have both Jacob and Colin. Is that... I don't... A 16-year-old wrote this.